it sort of got lost because we had premiered the film early. In fact, the same day the World Trade Center plane flew into it, and that was after a Toronto showing, and we were quite surprised when we screened it there because we didn't expect anyone to show up that day, but they did. We asked them why, why are you here? And they said because this event happened and they wanted to be with somebody, and it was 2 theaters that was full, and then that was the end of it. I don't think it had any other showing other than the Toronto Film Festival, and then that. And I don't know, I sort of lost track of it, what happened to it after that. But I understand that Dennis probably knows more, he does know more about it than I do, what happened to the film, because the guy who produced the film, which was a really wonderful person, Larry Dodge, and he was this wealthy person, and he went bankrupt for some reasons and things like that. And so that was the end of that, it was sort of locked up in his estate and things like that. He was being sued, so the film never got anywhere because of that. Until now, since Dennis and Amy did an amazing job of getting the film back, and so now we have a chance for it to be screened at different theaters, hopefully. And tomorrow night? Tonight.
You're on after this.
Excuse me. Well, I'm glad someone is here that knows more about it than I do. Because, anyway, so that was my situation with that film.
Okay, it's a very long story, and anybody who wants to read the entire long story can go on to milestonefilms.com, read more, open the Annihilation of Fish press kit, and read an amazing story of how it took 15 years.
19.
No, 15 years to make the film.
Yes.
And that was against all odds, thanks to Paul Heller and then finally Larry Dodge. May I mention its name?
Yes.
Yeah, 1999, it showed Toronto, everybody loved it in the audience, and fucking Todd McCarthy wrote the most scathing, horrible interview, I hope you can use that in your documentary, horrible review of a good, lovely, warm film. I mean, it was just totally merciless. There's personal reasons possibly for that. But the distributor said, I ain't distributing it now. Took about 8 years it happened in 2002 after the last screening. Joel said, can you look into Annihilation of Fish? And I said, James Earl Jones, Lynn Redgrave, Charles Burnett, and Margot Kidder. Let's not forget Margot. This is a good film for Milestone. We don't usually get James Earl Jones films at our door. And so I said, sure, let me try. And Larry Dodge, who was a very nice man, was nuts. And he wanted 50% of the gross, which any of you want to know is not a deal that is possible for any distributor or producer to take. And they kept going on. It took years. In 2000, I have files and files and documents and faxes, so I had to go back on all this because it started in 2002. 2008, his bank, American Sterling, got into trouble during the Great Crash, found out there was financial fraud. He went to jail, let's say 2012, died in 2015. I had the second person in command at the U.S. Treasury Department find out that the American Sterling Productions, which was not the American Sterling Bank, owned the rights. It now belonged to the state of California. It then took a year to find out the person to talk to. They were afraid, because Larry Dodge was still alive, that he would sue if they sold off the assets of American Sterling Productions. He died 2 years later. I went back to them. They said, we're not ready to. 3 years after that, I called up and they said, funny you should call, because we're just discussing it and what we're going to do with it. And I have never gone to bankruptcy court or known anything, but there was a wonderful woman named Nancy Sanders who was representing the state of California who said, I will walk you through it all. Martin Scorsese wrote a letter in favor of us. Charles wrote a letter in favor. Actually, I wrote it, you signed it. And we get to the day, and I'm really worried that somebody else is going to find out that because it's a public offering, a bankruptcy sale, that Criterion or, no, well, when it got to that day, nobody else had made an offer, and the black female judge is a big Charles Burnett fan. And so it's like, 19 years, I finally get a bit of luck. And we were able to purchase the rights to the film. That's the short story of it, believe it or not.